Okay, this video is going to walk us through this week of language arts and writing. It's going to touch on 3 of the topics, subject and predicate, synonyms, and antonyms. So I'm going to start off with subject and predicate. One of the days you're supposed to write 5 sentences of your own, which right now I want you to pause the video and do that, or you can wait until I show the next page and I started some sentences for you. I do want you to copy the complete sentence down and fill in the blank to finish them off. But once you have your 5 sentences down, go ahead and hit play and we'll continue on with finding the subject and predicate of those sentences. So pause it now. Okay, so let's take a look at your sentences. Now I want you to remember that the subject of a sentence is who or what the sentence is about. It's usually found at the beginning of our sentences in 3rd grade, but it can be anywhere in the sentence. Your predicate is what the subject is doing, and your predicate, the key word you should always look for is the verb in your sentence, because your verb is going to get started on that predicate. Okay, so we typically do work with antonyms when we're looking at expanding our vocabulary or sometimes even figuring out a tough word that we don't know. But what's important to remember is that antonyms are opposites. Antonyms are opposites. They're words that mean the opposite thing. In younger grades, you might have had words like happy and sad or up and down. Yes, those are opposites. We know those. But how it can help expand our vocabulary is when we get to these higher level words and we're able to figure them out by using context clues and developing those stronger words for our antonyms. So we're going to take a look at some cards that I made and I'll read all the words to you, and then we're going to use them to match up those opposite meanings. You'll see that some are easier than others. And that's fine. If you see a word that you don't know when I'm reading them to you, please pause the video and look it up. You use your computer if your parents will help you. If you have a dictionary at home, we need to be able to use those resources to help us figure out words that we don't know. So go ahead and when I lay out all the cards and read them to you, if there's one you don't know, hit pause, take as long as you want, and make sure that you understand what those words mean. Then we'll try and match them up with their antonyms. First word, we have dull, minuscule, gigantic, noisy, calm, difficult, silent, rambunctious, timid, smooth, simple, textured, vibrant, and outgoing. So these are the words we're going to match up. Every word in here does have an antonym or a word that means the opposite. And again, pause it now if you need to look up the meaning of any of these words. So when you're working through anything that you're not 100% sure of, you should always start with what you do know. Start with the simplest ones. And I thought that the word simple might be a good reminder of that. So looking at these words, we're looking for a word that means the opposite of simple. Sometimes it helps to put it in context. For example, this math problem is very simple. If something is not simple for you, if you don't know it right away, then you might find that it is difficult. So one set of antonyms, opposites, are simple and difficult. Could I have said easy and hard? Yes, but we're working on using those stronger words. So that's one I knew right off the bat. Another one that might be simple for you is noisy. Something is noisy. I'm thinking in my head, well, noisy things are loud. They are making a lot of noise, obviously. So something would be the opposite of that is quiet. Now I don't see quiet as an option. Something that does not make noise. I'm just thinking my way through this. Maybe the word would be silent. If something is not making any noise, it would be silent. So we have noisy and silent as our second set of antonyms. Okay, well, I'm knocking out the ones that I do know. Well, I know the word dull. And I know that because it's on a pencil box that I have where you're supposed to put dull pencils. And the dull means that it's not sharp. But I don't see that sharp is one of our choices. I wonder if dull has another meaning. Well, I looked up the word dull, and it could also mean something that is bland or doesn't have a lot of color to it. So I had to use the different meanings of the word dull. So the opposite of something that doesn't have a lot of color, something that is kind of boring, would be something bright, something exciting, something that has a lot of color. And a word that means those things is vibrant. So the opposite of dull would be vibrant, something bright, something exciting. Alrighty, well, outgoing, I know, is a word that means somebody is, they're not shy. So they're very excited. Okay, I want you to pause the video and take a second to match up these last words on your own and hit play when you're ready for me to show you the answers. And here you go. Here are the antonyms. They're listed on top of each other. Minuscule and gigantic, calm and rambunctious, textured and smooth, and outgoing and timid. So again, those antonyms are all words that mean the opposite of each other. Now let's move on to some synonyms. One little reminder that I like to use to remember the difference between synonyms and antonyms is that synonyms are the same. You'll notice I made both of these S's dark as a reminder that synonyms are the same. Synonyms, same. They both start with an S. So we know that antonyms are words that mean opposites, and synonyms are words that mean the same or almost the same as each other. So let's take a look at my first example. Okay. I have the tornado was so blank, it destroyed the whole town. So let's take a look at some context clues here to help us figure out what word could work in the blank. If I know that a tornado is a type of wild weather, an extreme type of weather, it destroyed the whole town. So if we're looking for a word to describe something that could demolish or destroy a whole entire town, it must have been pretty big. So the word big fits on this sentence, on this line. The tornado was so big, it destroyed the whole town. Now, we're working on synonyms, or words that mean the same as big. Big is a word that works, but it's if we're looking at using those stronger, more advanced words, another word you might think of is the word large, and I'm going to list these down underneath. So the tornado was so large, it destroyed the whole town. Let's think, can you think of another word that might mean big, large, huge, might have popped in your head? If you watched the first part of this video, you know we saw the word gigantic as another way to describe something that's big. Monstrous is a word that could mean just humongous. Oh, humongous is another option as well. So all of these words are synonyms. They all mean the same thing, and they can all paint their own picture of what this tornado was like. So instead of big, if I wanted to make the word a little bit stronger, I would think of its synonyms: large, huge, gigantic, monstrous, or anything like that to make my sentence a little bit stronger. And my next example for synonyms is this sentence right behind us. Mommy was blank when her kids wouldn't listen. I wonder where I got that sentence from.
Hey, Mom?
Well, let's look at some context clues.
I got to tell you something. Yeah, I got waste that because you said that. I didn't waste that. I don't like that word.
Let's take a look at some context clues. Well, if her kids aren't listening to her, how would a person feel? Or a mommy specifically. She's the subject of this sentence. She would probably feel mad. Please scooch over. Okay, we're talking about synonyms here. So another word we might use that means mad could be upset, furious, irate. And that means very, very mad. So all of these words are synonyms. They should be able to be used interchangeably or in different situations to give the same message or sometimes a little bit of a stronger message as well. So mommy was irate when her kids would not listen. Well, I hope this helps you with some of your writing and language arts for the week. And I know there's contractions and compound words in there as well, but I feel like that's something we really stamped out at the beginning. But as always, if you have any questions, please just feel free to email them to me. And I will be sending you out a math video shortly. Say goodbye, Eli. Okay.
Goodbye. Have a great day.